Okay, so progress so far. I've managed to combine the two toys kind of on the same battery supply, which has been sort of broken out of one of the toys. I've managed to um, get the first toy, Jojo, which didn't have a power switch to it, which was quite annoying. I managed to feed this battery supply into Jojo here, and it operates using the same switch that I managed to fix back onto the second toy, Fininsky, after kind of breaking this the switch here, which works on the kind of on a rotating switch, but that all kind of broke. So I managed to solder some bits onto there, and then apply them to those two switches. One of them's mode, and one of them just turns on and off. This right one turns on and off, and this one changes the mode. You notice you get a tune instead of an ignition, and that changes all the modes of the buttons. It's different samples. But that was kind of cool. I managed to I took what would normally feed from the battery to this one here. I took the negative from exactly where the negative would feed in from the battery onto from the second toy, and I took the positive into here from one of these little solder points from where the switch logic sort of solders in, and just from trial and error found the right one that abides to the switch. So now this is only supplied, so the circuit's only completed when the circuit's completed by the switch. Next, I've soldered bits onto here where it's normally feeding to a speaker. I've fed both of the toys from their outputs where it would normally feed to a little speaker onto this little board here, and then came out of this little board here into a mini TRS output, so I can then amplify it, which I'll do later on using the leads that we made earlier on. So yeah, right now it's just a big mess. You can kind of see all these little different parts, and I've extended a lot of the cables, a lot of the wires, just so it's easier to house later on. So it's an absolute mess right now. It's just carnage, and this is all just LEDs and buttons, which are going to be, I don't know, I'm going to have to make it a lot easier to work with later on, but it all works as it normally should now, and they're kind of coming out at the same levels. So yeah, you've got all these buttons on the first toy. And the second toy. Which is weird. I think it's mutating the signals because they're kind of like running straight into the same strip here. I think when you get them playing both at the same time, they kind of, I don't know, I guess the signals interact with each other and do weird things anyway. But I'll just kind of roll with that. Yeah, and that's it so far. I think the next stage is like kind of trying to house all this stuff. And really these are the only two main things I'll be looking at in terms of actually bending, which I was playing around with earlier on in the other clips. Cool, that's it so far.